Sponsor me.
But only the special edition rye chips. Okay.
You're so cute.
I'll keep doing it. Kevin! This is Ivy.
And this is Gidget.
And you're listening to Slut Shame This. Let's get started. I'm so happy Kevin's back.
Yay.
Kevin's back. Kevin just hightailed it off to Europe and left us fending for ourselves. So back to our regularly scheduled program. Gidget is unfortunately not with us tonight, but I did bring a good friend of mine on. You guys might know her, probably know her if you know me, Karmen Karma.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to Slut Shame This.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I listen to this all the time.
I'm so happy because we've talked about you being on for a while now. Mm-hmm. And I love that you have listened to it on your own accord and have to shove it down your throat.
No, that's like my go-to every time I drive from San Diego to LA. That's
I love that.
Yeah, my road trip. This is my road trip listening.
Oh, that's so great. That makes me so happy when people just voluntarily listen to it and then tell me.
Oh, for sure.
I'm like, whoa, I didn't have to link you and like hold your hand through the whole process. You just listened to it. Amazing. So do you want to like tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself?
So I came into the porn industry when I was 21.
As a performer?
As a performer, yeah. I started actually when I was in high school camming. And I don't know how I found it. Like I was just probably Googling how to make money from sex stuff. Like I was like trying to do anything I could do.
How to make money from sex stuff.
Like I remember like I was like I just wanted to do sex work, but I didn't know anything about it. Like I was like on Craigslist, like I'll answer these ads. And I remember my friend was like, you cannot meet up with that guy. He is so old. So I was just trying to find a way to be sexual, but make a job at it. Mm-hmm. So I did camming. And then I was like, I want more. So I started stripping. And I still wasn't satisfied. And I was really trying not to be a porn star because I knew my dad would be pissed. So I was, even though I knew that's what I wanted to do for years, I was like, okay, maybe I'll just be happy with stripping. But finally I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. So like, it was like my dream job in a weird way.
It's always been my dream job too.
Yeah, like it's not something that I did just because like I really needed the money. Like I really wanted it. You know, the money's obviously
very nice.
Yeah, that's a great part. But there's just something I love about the industry. It makes me feel like I'm like accepted and at home. Like I don't feel like I have to change who I am.
Yeah.
So I finally came to the industry when I was 21. Now I'm 28, and
you took some time off.
I did.
How long did you perform until you took the break?
I think it was 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to take a break because I got married and wanted to have a baby. So I was like, if I want the baby to be my husband's, I have no choice but to, you know, take a little break.
You don't want to, what do they call it, like a set baby?
A set baby, yeah. So that was the only thing I could do. And I got pregnant like right away.
Oh, your body wanted it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
She was ready.
Yeah, it was very ready. And I wasn't sure if I would ever come back. I actually think I was telling people, like, I'll never come back to porn. Like, I was one of those girls for a while because I really didn't think I was going to. And I really missed it. Like, I just didn't feel like myself. I don't know if it was a lot of the attention thing. Like, maybe I really need attention. But, like, I love that I could live out these fantasies that I wanted to do that are really hard to set up in real life. Like,
Absolutely.
It's really hard to be like, okay, I want a 13 guy blow bang, or I want a DP, or even like I want to sleep with a hot girl, because it's hard to even find a girl to hook up with.
It really is. I'm really bad at gauging whether a girl is into me or not, and so I just don't even want to fuck with it, because it's so much more. Guys are such an easy read. I'm like, wants to fuck. Girl, I'm like, could just really like my sweater or is staring at my tits. I can't tell.
I think it's tits in your case.
Yeah, so you took time off because you wanted to have a baby, and you did. And this week, I wanted to kind of shine some light on sex workers who are parents, because I feel like it's stigmatized, of course, and I think a lot of people have questions, like, you know, and I'll ask them. But I think it's definitely, I've always been curious, you know, what I'm going to do one day if I had a kid, and what would I tell them, and that kind of stuff. So obviously, you figured it was going to be a good move to take a break.
Yeah, I wanted to take a break, and at first I didn't think I would come back, because this is way society is like, you know, that you can't do that stuff when you're a mom anymore.
Right.
And, you know, even people are like, oh, you can't dress that way, you're a mom. Even though you literally become a mom by having sex in the first place.
Yeah.
So I was kind of trying to fit in that mold of like, well, now I'm a mom. So I remember throwing away all my like hoe clothes and thinking, oh, I'm going to be this mom now. And thinking that I had to like pick one box and that I couldn't still be myself. And I was really trying to do that for, I think, until my daughter was 8 months old. And my husband was telling me, he's like, you're just not as like vivacious and like happy as you used to be. And Brazzers actually reached out to me, and they were kind of like dangling the contract there, being like, we will sign you if you want to come back.
God, I love Brazzers.
Hey.
And I was like, no, I'm not ready right now. And because I didn't think I would ever want to. And it happened, like, my husband was the one that was like, I know you want to, like, you just don't because you're scared of what people will think of you.
Yeah.
And that was 100% right. Like, I really wanted to. I missed it. But I was like, my biggest fear is someone being like, oh, she's a bad mom.
Yeah, which I think everyone can throw out there really casually, but they don't know shit about what you're like as a mom.
Exactly.
Because what people can't realize about sex workers is that our job is still a job, and it might be definitive of part of us, but it's not our entire being. We are not just people that fuck on camera and then cease to exist.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really easy for people to say stuff like that. Meanwhile, they have no idea what they're talking about. I don't think that it makes you a bad mother. In fact, like, you're providing for your family, literally. And also, it's 2019, and I'm just hoping as more time goes on, it will be less stigmatized in the future.
That was my thinking with it, too. I was, like, trying to do the math. I'm like, all right, well, when she's at the age where she can get made fun of, like, you know, once, like, kids know what porn is and stuff, thinking, how old will she be? What year will it be? All right, I think things are moving in the right direction. You know, there's the slut walk and stuff going on now. Like, I feel like things are a little bit more normalized. So I'm hoping it won't be a big deal. And the big thing is, I'm confident that the way I want to raise her is very, like, open and honest, and kind of like how this is called slut shame this. Like, I don't want her to, I'm not going to hide it and act like I'm shameful of it.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. Is so how old is your daughter now?
She is going to be 3 in the end of January. So she's like
a toddler.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you take her to preschool? Do you meet other moms? Do other moms know what you do? And do you get weird vibes from them because they might know, or they have seen their husband jerking off to you before?
That's always like in the back of my head. I'm like, please don't know.
Please don't know.
I feel like I always stand out. I do take her to preschool. And I feel like I stand out anyways among the other moms because of the tattoo aspect. And when I had like my big implants.
And you're young and you're hot. And
yeah, so I've always felt like I stuck out. But I don't let anyone know. Like, I feel like my San Diego life is so different because it's kind of separated. Like, out here in LA, I come out here, I get my work done. And then in San Diego, I'm just in mom mode all the time.
You're super mom out there.
Super mom. And so I go there. No one knows, or at least I don't think they know.
Okay, so
we don't talk about
you don't
that.
advertise, you know, you're not like, hi.
Hi, I'm Karmen Karma. No.
Subscribe to my Snapchat.
Yeah, you know, tell your husband you can get a free trial. He signs up.
24 hours. There's a live show right now. I don't know, in LA, one of the first things people ask when they meet you is, so what do you do? Which I think is an obnoxious thing because, you know, people in LA feel like they have something to prove and that your work defines you and how busy you are defines you. So I just assume that even when meeting moms, they're like in small talk, so what do you do? Have you gotten that question?
I haven't yet, but that's a good thing to think about. This is what I do, that when I get that question by someone that I feel like would judge me, I say, I'm an author. Because I'm not lying.
Right.
I'm just not telling the full truth. Like, you know, most of my job is through my content on my websites and stuff. But, you know what? The writing's not lying.
Yeah, you have an autobiography.
Yeah, I wrote a book. So now that's kind of like my clutch when I get in awkward situations.
Yeah. Me, I don't even like telling people either because it just makes for an awkward conversation. Like when I'm in a Lyft or Uber and the guy's like, so what do you do? I always go back to makeup because...
Oh, that's a good one.
I used to do makeup full time. That was my job for like almost 10 years. So I can bullshit about it all day because I know about it. And, you know, it's not about shame. It's about not wanting all the annoying questions that come with it.
Right. I used to always say, oh, I'm in the entertainment industry. And they'd be like, oh, well, what kind? Adult. Well, what kind of adult? I do porn. Okay, I do
and then
porn.
They're like, wait, okay, but like guys? And you're like, yeah, guys. Okay, but like everything? I'm like, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you thought about what you would do maybe if you face situations with moms being weird, like at your daughter's preschool or possibly, you know, kindergarten later on in life? And do you have a game plan? And like, how does that make you feel that your job might make people act differently towards you, but everyone's fine with an office job?
Right, I know. It's,
and that's
it's so irritating because like a job is a job, and I'm happy at least like my husband can see that. So like our family is like, that dynamic is fine. But it is a struggle for me to deal with how other people see it as a mom. I did not care at all before I was a mom. But now that there's someone else's life involved, that's like that's my one fear. Is like her growing up and hating me because of doing it, or other people making fun of her, and then that's my fault. So I definitely drive myself crazy about that. And my game plan changes all the time. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not going to hide who I am. And then the other times I'm like, I'm totally going to cover my tattoos. I'm going to go there, make up like some bullshit because I'm scared for her.
Right.
And I have no idea what to do. And as long as she still loves me, that's all I care about.
Totally. This generation that's coming up is going to be a lot different, I think.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's going to be a lot more open. And I've met people that had sex worker parents that were both sides of the coin. Yeah. And I feel like the ones that the parents were really like unashamed and honest are the ones that don't think twice about it. And it's like, oh, if people are weird about it, that's on them. But I feel like the people that I know that had their parents keep it super secret and shamey were the ones that felt weird about it. And it was more about the keeping things from them than the sex work itself.
Yeah, so once she's able to understand what, you know, when that talk is appropriate.
Yeah, and that's not anytime soon, I don't think.
No, she doesn't understand any of that stuff. So once it's appropriate, I'm totally going to be open. And I think it'll help her be able to trust me and not worry about me judging her. Like, I want not be like we're friends where I'm not mothering, like being a good parent. But I do want to be like not judgmental and just there for her and try not to judge her, tell her what to do. So I'm hoping maybe my career will help her feel more comfortable to talk about those things with me, because clearly she's going to know I can't judge about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like sexual oppression is the disease that leads to so many horrible symptoms. You know, when you hear about people with a lot of issues and trauma, it's a lot of it's around, you know, sexual oppression. Either their parents, you know, being really religious, or, you know, they grow up and they're gay or trans and they've been, you know, denied that right. You know, I think it'd be a beautiful thing to have a parent be open and honest and not shame you for your
wish I had
sexuality.
that.
Me too.
Yeah, my dad was so strict. My dad raised 3 girls, so he was just all like, none of you have sex ever. And we were super Catholic. So I think maybe that's part of why I was so sexual, is because it was taboo. So I was like, why is this so bad? Like, I want to find out.
Yeah, I can relate. I had born again Christian parents, so the speaking in tongues and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When people would fall over at church and stuff.
Girl.
And I remember just at a really young age, just looking around and being like, yeah, I don't buy it.
Good for you.
Yeah, so young and just not drinking the Kool-Aid even then. I feel like on that subject, I feel like I'm an old soul. I feel like my soul was just like,
yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're not buying into this. It just also goes to prove that you can have big plans for your kids and they can turn out however they're meant to turn out. And I was always a very sexual person, so the second I was able to express that, all hell broke loose.
Yes. Right now I separate my Amber life and my Karmen life. Mm-hmm. So I have an Amber phone, a Karmen phone.
Amber's
my real name.
You're comfortable telling?
Yeah, because my book was in my real name.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Amber Vandebunt, a.k.a. Karmen Karma. So now they're both out there in the open. So
got it.
It's all good. But because of that, people are finding my personal stuff. Mm-hmm. So I actually just deactivated my personal one because someone commented on a picture of my daughter in her Halloween costume. She's a future porn star.
Oh my God.
And that just made me, I was like, what is wrong with you to sexualize a kid? So stuff like that, that is the only thing that can get under my skin. Yeah. I'm like, don't say that about my daughter. Comments like that, just, so I was just deactivate. I don't even want people to have the chance to even, I don't even want them to look at her. So she's my whole fucking world, but I won't write or ever post her on my Karmen stuff because I keep
You're keeping her safe.
Mm-hmm.
That's you protecting her.
Yeah, I don't want to put her in that unless, if she's super cool and open with it one day and wants to do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah,
but right now she's a little
choice.
baby.
Yeah, she's a baby.
So I'm not going to be posting her on there. I don't think that's appropriate. But still at the same time, people are like, don't you have a daughter? Why don't you ever post her? I'm like, I'm not going to post it where you guys are jerking off all day.
Yeah.
So she's just, I feel like I have 2 lives. I feel like I'm Hannah Montana sometimes.
Right. So it's, so I feel like you kind of are able to succeed as still performing. I feel like you don't hold back at all. You're still such a sexual person. You love your job. And I feel like you're probably channeling karma in that moment. And then when you go home, Amber is at the forefront. But they're both parts of you. Exactly. But it's probably easy to compartmentalize it to make family life and work life function.
Yes. So that's exactly how it is. And I remember, so in the end of my book, my husband actually wrote a chapter. It was called Marrying a Porn Star, because I was like, you need to put your word on here, because everybody says, how are you married? No one can grasp that that a porn star can have a spouse. So he wrote it it made me cry reading it for the first time, because he was like, Amber needs Karmen and Karmen needs Amber. They're both parts of me that I need to be a happy person. Karmen isn't an act, but at the same time, it's not the same part of me.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I feel similarly about me as well.
Yeah.
And, I turn up the volume all the way on Ivy, and then we're the same, but one is turned down and one's turned up. It's like you shifting the bass and what is it? Treble. Yes. I feel like Ivy's all bass.
And it's almost in a weird way, it really works, because I'm mom life 90% of the time, and then I get to go be Karmen and escape a little bit and go have my time to do that, which makes me happy, makes me money, and then I go right back to my family life and being a mom again for the week, and then I just go hoe in LA on the weekends.
How do you deal with people on the internet and comments put on your clothes? Don't you have a daughter at home? And whatever. Do those get under your skin, or do you just think they're kind of par for the course with idiots on the internet and you being a sex worker?
So someone can call me all these names and it doesn't affect me. I'll just block control. But I don't know why it gets under my skin. I think it's because I always wanted a daughter. Like, that was, like, even, like, growing up, I was like, I'm going to have a daughter one day, and I'm going to give her the best life. Because my mom was just a piece of shit. Like, she wasn't in my life growing up. And I never had a relationship with her. So I feel like that part of me, like, felt like my purpose was to have a daughter, and then I can have that, give someone else that mother-daughter relationship that I wanted so bad. So I've had her name picked out since I was 13. Because I knew I wanted a girl one day. So when I found out she was a girl, I was like, me and my husband didn't even have to talk, like, what her name is.
You always wanted a daughter.
Yeah, I always wanted a daughter.
You knew what her name was going to be. We're going to keep that private, but you knew.
Yeah.
And there was no conversation had.
Yeah, so I really, really always wanted this daughter because I wanted to give her, you know, there is no perfect, but I wanted to give her the best life that I could possibly give her.
Like, the best tool belt.
Yes.
Like, you are equipped to go out there,
like,
take it on the
unconditional love. Like, I'm not going to shame her. I'm not going to, like, hurt her. I just want to be there for her. And then it makes me angry when I see comments like that, because I'm like, don't tell me I'm messing her up. Like, that's my fear. It's like, I don't want to mess her up.
But you know what I think from talking to other parents, I think this is not sex worker specific. I think that every single parent has the fear, you know? So, I mean, all I've basically learned, which I knew I was going to learn, is that being a sex worker and a parent, it doesn't really make you any different of a parent. I feel like most people that have careers, they have to turn on a certain part of themselves, and then they're also a different person in family, because that's just common. It is the way it is, you know? I feel like accountants aren't gonna, like, come home and crunch numbers with the kids, so
true.
Why do they think that sex workers are gonna, like, you know, traumatize their kids? It's like, I feel like
come home and just shove a dildo up my ass.
Yeah. I just feel like crunching numbers would be more upsetting as a child than, like, hearing my parents have sex. I don't know, though. Parents having sex kind of sucks.
Yeah, and honestly, kids, my husband tells me whenever I start getting insecure with that is, kids will get made fun of for anything.
Yeah. I mean, for real.
Even if, like, I wasn't a sex worker, like, that's, who's to say she's not getting made fun of for something else, you know?
Yeah. Kids are mean as fuck. Kids are so mean. Like, I feel like everyone has been bullied at some point, and you can't prevent that, but you can give her the tools that she needs to feel confident and not. It's always going to hurt no matter what. You know, we all can know better, and then someone, you know, goes and says the right thing and it haunts you. Or the wrong thing, but right in the way that it just really fucks with you. So I think that's going to happen regardless. And I think that this whole stigma around people not being able to be in the sex industry and be a good parent is completely ridiculous. And I've been wanting to have a parent on the show just to talk about it.
There's been a lot of pregnancies lately in the industry and a lot of new parents.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't keep I'm like,
they all contact me.
Oh, really? I'm a very, I don't really even check my timeline on Twitter. I check my mentions and I post. Right. Every now and then when I'm really bored, I'll, like, do a scroll through, but I never know what's going on. I'm the last to know.
No, I feel like a lot of them contact me because I was so open about it. Like, I remember when I found out I was pregnant, I went right to my Twitter. I didn't care that they were porn fans. I was so happy. So happy I was pregnant. So a lot of people know, and a lot of girls follow my, like, personal accounts and stuff. So they all ask me for advice. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's play date. I love it.
I love that.
The one thing, though, that being a mom in the industry that makes it really hard is because I don't live in LA, I don't want to come down here and shoot that much unless she can come with me. So I'm limited to only coming down, like, a Saturday, Sunday kind of. And, like, I was trying to shoot when I had my Brazzers contract, and I'd be out in Vegas for a couple days or in LA for a couple days back to back. That made me really depressed because now I have this little person that, you know, wants her mommy. So I can't be away like that anymore. Like, I really can't. Like, I miss her right now. Oh. She's my whole world. So that's something that makes it difficult. But now with all the platforms online, that's what I do.
We've definitely
She's at daycare.
Discussed all the platforms before, and your main one is Snapchat, right?
Yeah, Fan Centro. is the one I use the most. So when she's at school, I'm trying to get in as much content as I can. So she goes like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So then Tuesday, Thursday, I don't do any of my work so I can be with her. So I just shoot all my stuff at home. So that way it works out good where I don't have to feel like I'm leaving her, even though I know a lot of parents do have to go on business trips and stuff. Yeah. To me, I just guilt trip myself. Like, I'm out here just having sex and like leaving her. So it's really hard not to like be, I think the person that makes me feel the worst about it is myself. Because I overanalyze it and just think I'm not being a good mom because I'm trying to be such a good mom.
No, but, and again, I feel like that's a lot of parents' inner dialogue, you know, whether you, whatever you do for a living, I think that's the case. After talking to you, I feel like it's really not any different from any good parent's point of view.
Right. And the only difference between like sex workers and like other people is all the stuff I've done is like permanently on the internet. Like, I'm sure all the other parents had like their little hoe phases too. Like, all of us have sex. Like, that's how we became parents. Like, why is it such a big deal? I think it's just because it's so taboo that, and they don't know about it. So they think like the worst, like I'm this terrible person just because I have sex.
Oh, and the stigmas that come with like, you must be stupid and not good at anything else if this is what you chose. Who hurt you? You probably came from a bad family. You're on drugs. It's like, those are such archaic mindsets. I feel like maybe that was the stigma in the 70s and the 80s, but people got to know better by now that these are like actual career choices that are viable and people are thriving. And I've never been so financially independent. It's wild, girl, you know? Yes. It's amazing. And I'm so grateful. And I haven't changed as a person since I started, except for the better, you know? It's like with more money comes more responsibility. With more power comes more responsibility. Okay, Spider-Man. All right, so a question I have for you is, how has parenting changed your porn life? Or has it changed your porn life?
It has. When someone sucks on my boob, I think about breastfeeding. I'm like, no, that's food. What are you doing? So now I'm totally not into getting my nipples sucked anymore.
That I could see that.
But other than that, I'm exactly the same. There's nothing else that really changed like about the sex life. I think more what changed was like when I got sober and in porn, like, and then like shooting sober, I was like, oh wait, I don't actually like that. I was just super fucked up. But like the parenting, the only thing is just like
the boob sucking.
The boob sucking reminds me, I'm like, that's my daughter's milk. I remember, I'm not breastfeeding anymore, but it still makes me think about that. But I remember when I was still breastfeeding and I went to the strip club for the first time, and this is before I came back to porn, and I was like so horny for a girl, and I was like getting a lap dance, and the strippers took my boob out and sucked on it, and I hadn't breastfed in miles. Milk squirted out, and her face, you could tell, was so shocked.
Oh my God.
But she just like played it off, and I was like, she just drank my milk.
Oh my God, I love that story so much. That stripper is going to be telling that story for the rest of her life too. So like, this one time I was giving this hot girl a lap dance and she lactated in my mouth.
So embarrassing.
I love it. I drank someone's breast milk once.
Yes!
For fun.
I remember.
She just like squirted it in my mouth. I was like, might as well.
I believe it. I remember Adriana drank my breast milk.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's like vanilla almond milk, but warm.
Yeah, I couldn't like drink like a gulp of it, but I could take a spritz.
Oh, I would produce so much. My husband would like love it. He would always, he wants to get the hormones out of it, like the growing hormones. Right? He would suck it. I'm like, stop it, that's her food.
Oh,
stop
my God.
My supply.
I like that. I actually think that's a hot fetish, by the way. Do you have any advice for new parents in the industry?
Ooh, that's a good one. Definitely know what your boundaries are and what you want to do, because it's really easy to get sucked in porn. I feel like once, like, it was kind of hard for me for a while. I'm like, oh, I'm a Brazzers contract girl and I'm getting all these shoots. Cool, but am I putting my family on the back burner? That's not what I want either. So I try to be the best mom, but like best businesswoman, and trying to juggle the two is difficult, but I'm sure it is for most jobs too, that you have to, well, maybe not everyone has to travel for it, but I don't think there's much you have to do different in your job. Just my only opinion is that, you know, the babies shouldn't be posted on the social media, like their pictures, because I feel like there's so many creepy guys out there. I've seen someone do that before, and I'm like, I wouldn't. But that's my opinion. But I just think that a sex fan base shouldn't see the kid. Or
yeah, I can see that for sure. I can see both sides of the coin regarding that too, because you are so proud of your kid and you want to share them, but then on the other side,
it's hard
to protect them from porn fans, because a lot of our fans are awesome. A lot of them are total creeps, and you don't really want them to have access to a lot of your personal life. I don't share a lot about my personal life. This is like the most personal I think people can get with me is listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't post a lot of like, oh, I'm doing this today. And I'm just not that person. So I would probably lean on the side, if I ever had a kid, to keep it private. The less they know, I feel like the less they can like get under my skin or get to me.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I'm a very open person on my social media, but not about my personal life. Mm-hmm. So I'm open in like my sexuality and stuff. Like I'm super sexual on there. But, you know, the main majority of my life is my family life and the real stuff that no one cares about, you know? Yeah. So that's why another thing I would recommend is like different phones. Mm-hmm. Like I like to have all of my like kid pictures and my mommy stuff on one phone, and then all the dirty stuff on another phone, because once the kids get older, they want to look through your phone and stuff. So I try to keep that off of there. Or if you like go to show someone a picture of your kid and you're like scrolling, they're like, oh, that's a picture of my asshole. Don't like that. So I like to separate things, because I have to make like a conscious effort to separate Amber from Karmen. So I know like to have separate with each of them.
Did you hear the cat?
Yeah, I heard the cat.
Forlorn. This has been such a good interview.
Yes. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah, it's really fun to have you on, and it's been so informative. And yeah, do you want to like plug anything? Check out her book.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. My book is called Overcome, and I'm sure if you just type my name with Overcome on Amazon, it'll be there. And I did it in the audiobook too, if you don't like to read. But that has a lot more details about becoming a mom and my struggle, and me making the decision to come back to porn. So if you're interested in that, check it out.
Yeah. Awesome. We're going to have it linked in the show notes. I still need to get my hands on it. I'm going to get one on Amazon while it's fresh in the brain right after this.
I'll bring you one when we shoot soon.
Oh, we're going to shoot soon?
Yes. Remember the 22nd? Oh, yes. I'm like, I thought we were.
Oh, for sure. Yes, we are.
Yes, I'll bring you one there. That'll be your little gift.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I've been trying to set aside about an hour of reading time every day.
Good.
Yeah, and it feels so good.
It's relaxing to like not be on like technology, or like it's even better than watching TV. Like when I'm reading, I can tell such like a difference when I go to sleep at night.
Yeah, it really like focuses the mind, and I feel like my mind goes a million places at once constantly. Same. Even when I'm like watching a show that I like, my brain is still doing all this, but when you're reading, you are literally creating the world in your head as you're reading, and it kind of,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's like meditative in a way that I think is become meditative, because this is just like a lost thing on our technology like driven world.
I know, that's why anytime I tell someone my book, I'm like, I don't know if you read or not. Like that's just like a thing. Like, do you even read? Yeah. I remember I gave it to one of my friends. She's like, oh, I don't read at all, but it's a good coffee table book. I'm just gonna sit up and like, okay, cool.
Yeah, being present is an art now.
It is.
You know, that we as of this generation have to learn, because the generations before us didn't have technology, so you had no choice but to be in the moment. You couldn't like look at your phone and be on the World Wide Web, you know?
I know, I kind of wish I didn't like.
Yeah, I said World Wide Web. Yeah, I'm a millennial. I don't okay boomer me. I'm a millennial.
I've always wanted to delete my social media. I wish like we didn't need it for work all the time, because otherwise we make no sales. But sometimes like the happiest I've ever been is I went to Maui and I didn't bring my phone. Like I literally left my phone at home and was like, I don't even want the temptation to turn it on. Because I knew my husband would have his phone to like call if we needed to do something. But not posting on social media or like looking what other people are doing, it was the happiest I've ever been. And I like, back then when I was there, I was like, when I go home, I'm going to have one day a week where I don't go on social media. And I can't stick to it now that I'm here. When my phone's there, I just grab it.
It's really addictive. I never really thought that it would come to this, but I'm like training myself to not look at my phone so much and to just have a certain, you know, like my agent, Mark Spiegler, has a certain ringtone. And it's like, unless I'm hearing that one, you know, don't pick up the phone. Don't look at it. It's so hard.
If you hear a ding, your brain's like, what is it? Who is it? Like, what are they doing? I wake up, I'm like, what's on Twitter? Yeah. Like, I hate that.
And then wanting like the instant validation. Like, I'm going to post a hot photo and then I can't wait to see how many people like it.
Yes, or everyone needs to see my lunch right now. I do that shit. And I'm like, why? Why do I need to post a picture of my food?
Yeah. So the point is, take some you time to focus that poor little tired brain that's just looking at too many things at once and everyone else's lives. Yes. Self-care yourself into a cozy little corner and read her book.
Yes, thank you.
And now we're going to go into DMs.
Ooh.
All right, guys, it is time for the DMs. I have a couple that are pretty funny. They are not DMs to me. These are DMs to our listeners that have submitted their DMs. This one is super off-putting. You need some color in your life, smiley face. Not like a black eye or anything, just my eyes, cry laughing emoji. Hello? What the fuck? My eyes? What? Bizarre. And the guy's picture, he's just like a regular white guy. Just a very strange and off-putting approach, buddy. And then the other one is also a submission, and it's, need a bisexual girl to smoke weed with her. Why would being bisexual have anything to do with smoking weed?
Right.
Need a bisexual girl so you can cross your fingers for a threesome. That's never gonna fucking happen. God, these approaches. Guys, get better at this. All right.
Won't happen.
It won't happen. Actually, still be terrible at it because it's funny to read them on this. Do you have a couple?
I want to read. So I've never replied to this guy, but he has been messaging me for a while, so I'm just gonna go through the things that he said to me.
Okay.
Looking innocent, bitch.
All right.
Bitch doing business. Meet for fuck. What is the procedure to fuck you, honey? My horny bitch. I want to see your fucking Virginia.
Wait, what?
Unsafe bitches. My fave bitch. I want to lick you. You are more sweet.
Oh, more sweet.
So this guy has been having a conversation with himself for a while.
He likes the word bitch a lot.
I know.
Horny bitch.
There's a picture or a comment someone said to my gym picture. Someone DM'd me and said, it must have been sweaty. So sell me your sweaty, sweaty socks.
Oh, buddy. I mean, I would maybe take his money.
I know. I wish I would have saw this sooner. I would have sold them.
Yeah, that's the thing. We had like a fetish episode and we talked about how feet is such a big sector and all the little subgenres of foot fetishes. And it's like the dirty socks, the dirty shoes, nylons, all that shit.
Yeah, I used to always, before I got into porn, I was on this website that I would sell a bunch of stuff, and feet guys, oh my god, they'll pay anything. I remember once this guy paid me to pee in socks and ship them to him.
Amazing. That is so specific, and that could have not smelled so nice when that arrived.
Like all sealed in a Ziploc for him.
Oh God! I'm imagining like the waft that comes with the opening of the Ziploc. I also talked about how I like pee stuff, water sports in the last episode, but it's like a fresh, well hydrated pee.
Yes.
I can't not stand the smell of like a stale urine. It's just like it's the worst.
Could you imagine like pee socks shipped through the hot mail for like a week and then opening that bag?
He literally got hot mail.
Stop. You corny.
I gotta sneak in a zinger every now and then. All right, guys. So you know how much we love reviews here at Slut Shame This. They help us be more visible, and we also just love hearing from you guys. So we like to read one weekly, and we have a pretty good one. This is from Robbie Burns, and the subject is Censorship Doesn't Work, and it's a 5-star review. It says, I found out about this podcast through an Instagram post from my coworker Jessica. Apparently, this dynamic duo had their Instagram account deleted for violating certain guidelines. So lame. Been binging on every episode, and it is entertaining and very educational. The chemistry between Ivy and Gidget is remarkable, to the degree that you forget that they're talking about pretty taboo subjects. Looking forward to the new episodes. Hope you get your IG account back up. Rob, thank you. We got deleted for literally no reason. The reason that they said in the email was for impersonating somebody. I'm like, who?
Who am I impersonating?
But thank you for the review. I'm so happy you're enjoying it. And even if you found out about the podcast through unfortunate news, I'm happy you're here. So thank you. Well, Karmen, it was such a pleasure to have you on. We were so lucky to have you. This worked out so well.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys, get her book. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my god, I miss your snort. You're like all paranoid to chew them.
He's still recording. Jerk.